Thank you very much, and thank you for coming here. I'm Holger Ambroselli, and I came here with my colleague Henrico. It's in the first part of our presentation. I'm going to talk about digital transformation for tour organizers, travel organizers, and I'm going to speak about the day-to-day challenges we are faced with in our software development processes and why we see problems when tour organizers like to digitize. And I'm going to also introduce a software that can help to master the challenge of digital transformation. Just briefly about our companies, we are the A team. We are the digital unit of Centralized GmbH. We are based in Berlin, and for over 10 years we have been specializing in tourism, and we've developed tailor-made solutions, in particular software solutions from contracting to the provision of the final products. So we are specialized in the back office processes. Before I start giving that presentation, let me ask you a question. Who of you has already implemented a digital strategy in the company, and who knows that they're going to make money with a digital strategy? Who has such a strategy? 5 people, not too many. And this is fairly much in line with our experience, the experience we have received on the basis of market research. Only 25% of the managers say they have a good feeling about their digital strategy and where it will lead to. 67% of management says that the digital transformation is absolutely essential for the survival of their business. So the transformation into the digital environment is absolutely necessary. And then thirdly, many of the employees feel very much uncertain as far as digitization is concerned. And that is the situation in terms of digitization. Usually the employees, the rank and file employees, are not on board. They are not included in the transformation strategy. So let's think about waves of disruption and digital transformation. We are heading for the culmination point where the quickest changes will take place. It started in the 90s, 95, with music and video. You know what it meant for the music industry? It completely revamped itself. This process started in 1995. In 2005, we saw this wave of disruption of the print media, and the travel industry also initiated the first changes. And this year we see major changes going on in the fields of health, financing, trade. Until 2025, this digital transformation will have taken place everywhere. So you don't have just 10 years to change. It takes time until a company revamps itself, so you'd better start as early as possible. Some more data for you. Coming from European research, 75% of companies expect to be active in a new market segment within the next 3 years. That means their work will change altogether. And there's also the Fortune 500 list, and they say that 50% of the companies have disappeared since 2000. And the reason for that is digital transformation. And if you talk to CEOs, they also feel very much insecure and uncertain. Because of the new disruptive business models, so many CEOs, in particular 74% of them, feel concerned. When we look at the travel industry, there are just a few examples, but they are always mentioned. Airbnb, for instance, is a good example. It used to be a small company, but it was flexible, and it got into digitization as an early adopter. Airbnb now does more than just offering places to stay. They are developing into a travel agency, and it's a bottom-up process. And this is indeed the danger of digital transformation, that the big ones wouldn't look at the small players that start small but get big quickly. We have new players like Amazon, eBay. They never had anything to do with travel, but today you can book your travel there. So the travel market is getting more complex and very difficult to comprehend, both for consumers and the travel agencies. We see a major challenge for tourism. Tourism and the companies active there need to develop a new way of thinking. The front end needs to be digitized. So this is where clients book and get information, but it also has repercussions on the back end, because there the provision of processes must be guaranteed. Online, offline, all of that is going to change massively. And then, I mean, what we usually have, we have a product, an air trip or a package trip. It's offered via many channels. The environment has changed a great deal. We say that our starting point in the future will be the customer, him or herself. And it all depends when and where the customer wants to get in touch with us. I have to manage my product very flexibly to respond to the needs of my clients and make information and trips available to them right on the channel that they prefer. And this is the challenge of digital transformation. Technology is merging with the business model. And in that merger process, right, in the middle of it all, there's the client. The client has certain demands, and that is why you need to merge technology with the business model in order to be able to make it understandable and tangible to your client. That will change the workplace situation. If you if you transform digitally, do not just think of the client and the front end. Look at your own structures and how they are going to change and how the work is going to change inside your company. When we talk about the client as the central element in the strategy, it starts with everything. Looking for a place to spend your holiday, deciding where you book, and after your holidays, recommendations should be given. So all of these segments should be considered by the travel agency. So it's not enough to wait for the client and sell him a trip. It's a continuous process that doesn't end when the client returns from the holiday. And for that purpose, you need comprehensive technology. If you've just developed product, placed them in the market, they were booked, then digital transformation is a process where many companies will leave their comfort zone. It becomes cumbersome. Companies have to enter new fields that they are not versatile in. So that is why we do have to think not just about processes and products. We have to think about new markets, new channels of customer contact. What is the big potential of this transformation? How can you create new business and value added? There are many important things, like, for instance, connectivity. You need to be in touch with customers, colleagues, suppliers. Innovation is important. Develop new services. Change your business model, your organization in general. And a lot happens in the field of automation, because you need to make sure you automate your processes in a digital world. And then a very important topic is decision making. How do I get more information? How do I get more customer insights to take real-time decisions 24/7 in order to change my business? In detail, that means we will be thinking about our customers more and more, 360 degrees. We have the opportunity to develop new digital products and services. That's also very important. Travel agencies that used to offer just trips can also see, or have to see, themselves as service providers. They need to innovate the services they offer their clients on top. Probably you will have to think about partnering with other organizations to bring in new products and services. In the field of sales and marketing, there is a lot of potential to increase your return on investment due to digital marketing, where you see how much you get back, and you can use your present sales channels and add the digital component to them. Then digital services. We need 100% integrated processes and services, and virtual services can be offered as well. Virtual reality is a very important topic discussed widely during ITB this year. So creating new experience, a fascinating moment, that is also something you need to think about. Risk optimization means you need to know more about your target groups, your customers, and that helps you to provide better tailor-made offices and get a better utilization rate. And you need to create new instruments on the level of your management to have a new controlling, not just look back at the last season and what needs to be changed for the next season. You need to have data in real-time mode and shift and adjust your strategy whenever needed. A good organization in digital transformation integrates the customer, activates all employees, that's important, optimizes the processes in the company, and creates a transformation, a change of the products. And due to all these processes, you create a learning intelligence system. A learning tour organizer, travel agency, must be in a position to always swiftly adjust your strategies to the new challenges. Let me just mention two of these challenges. Traveling is no longer the thing we used to do in the past. Travelers are always connected. They have many different ways and means to get information and share information. There is even a plethora of all kind of information out there. Travelers, they'd like to have information at all times. So the connectivity of the travelers also changes the requirements to their service providers, their travel organization. And another big change is crisis regions. They're destinations that overnight are no longer in demand. Turkey is the most recent example. A whole destination isn't booked anymore. But as a travel agency, you have your capacities. You need to sell them somehow. So switching your business model, opening up new destinations for your company, that's a very important requirement because we have those crises, we have those conflicts, and they are here to stay, as it seems. So we need to be more agile in terms of adjusting our products and offers. Now, this sentence now seems a simple question. How come that digital transformations oftentimes fail? You know, there's one big mistake. When we talk about digitization of processes, then many people make the mistake of taking their existing processes and try to mirror them digitally. Usually that doesn't get you anywhere. It's all about new processes, creating a new organization. Otherwise, you don't change enough. And this is always a problem that we have when implementing software. There are those silos that all the organizations have. Everyone sits in a box. There are people in the marketing department, in procurement, and so on and so forth. On top of all of that, it gets together, but down there, people work in their silos. And this silo structure has no opportunity to survive. You have to open up these silos, set up a new interdisciplinary organization, think and implement new processes to become faster. In those silos, we just provide island solutions. It's nice to be on a holiday on an island, but if you place software into a silo or onto an island, it doesn't get you anywhere. One solution that we find quite often is that everyone works with Excel. That's wonderful. Calculations, reporting, hotel contracts, it all works in Excel, but you have so many Excel documents that you have to analyze. And this is the problem where we started with our teamSolution. We want to break these islands or silos open to create integrated back office processes so that your products become more flexible and can be placed in a more flexible market. Basically, it's all about a hotel bed. You want to have it booked as quickly and flexibly as possible. Let's now look at the classical process that will happen. It starts with planning based on previous year data and last year's results. You adjust your procurement department, you organize contracts with hotels for the number of beds that you think you need, then you calculate, you generate content, you publish both in catalogs and in online platforms, and then you make this booking system available. But in the course of the year, there are new capacities that come up, new opportunities, new demands, and you influence that they influence your product. And then after 6 months or so, you would have an interim reporting, what went well and what didn't. Now we are sure we need to change. First of all, everything has to move towards destination. That is to say, incoming agencies and hotels should be used in a better way to steer your capacities. You need a completely decentralized organization. The core of it all is a central database where all your business divisions are integrated and everyone has access to everything. Strategy and planning, calculation, special offers, reporting, all of it should be shown in a central database. And the third area that becomes more and more important is controlling your content. Produce new content, attractive content. And this is where your marketing division must be focused on. You need a true content strategy. And this is how you can quickly get bookings, and all of that must be underpinned with the reporting that gives management always the opportunity to look at the current situation, to monitor the situation and respond if ever there is a need to respond. That is to say, what we need is real-time reporting. Now, let me talk about teamSolution. It should be based on a central database, all of that, of course, web-based. And for us, the most important benefits of that solution is the time to market. How quickly a bed or a resource would be available in the market. How quickly you can take out of your system those resources that no longer work. We need personalized packaging, product marketing. We'd like to also facilitate a solution that gives the opportunity to manage special offers in a better way, because capacities usually change quickly, and I think more and more special offers will be needed in the course of the year, and that will be the most important tool for you to utilize your capacities as best as possible in order to maximize your revenues and integrate also external partners. So an incoming agency might be integrated. And all of that will be based on a number of modules, as you can see on the right-hand side of my slides, where we offer solutions, software solutions. For us, it's important to emphasize it's going to be a web-based solution. That is to say, it will be available everywhere. There also will be offline functionalities. If all of a sudden the internet doesn't work, you can work offline. We try to avoid media disruptions. That happens when you work just with Excel, where you transfer from one site to another. These are the mistakes we try to avoid by integrating everything into one single solution. I now like to show a demo of the contract manager. This is how you can conclude contracts with hotels. That is to say, your sales people will go to the hotel, will immediately feed that contract into your database. Usually that is done via Excel documents, as I said before. Now it's going to be in the central database. And this system is going to collect all that information that comes from your purchasing activities. There we've got a whole list of contracts. Let's just pick one. And then you see the structure of our module. On the upper end, you see the basic information, address and the like. And then there are the seasons that I will use the hotel, during which I will use the hotel. Here I can define my seasons. Say, would it be a category A, B, or C? Without having to type a lot of text, I can just click on and change data if necessary. The next area would be room capacity and room rates, depending on the seasons. Here I can also change the price. That is to say, when I'm still in negotiation mode and need to adjust prices, I can see quickly, okay, I'll go 10% up, what will happen then? So it's a very intuitive, interactive guidance you have. So the purchaser or your procurement people can conclude the contract as quickly as possible. We also have supplements, children, all kinds of additional information you might need for your contract. Then there's also a review tool where you can check for mistakes, optimize your contracts, so you do not carry these mistakes and ambiguities down to the end of the contracts. So there you can enter all the information, early booking and so on and so forth. So all special offers that might be available can be integrated. Here I can limit that to rooms, numbers of rooms, packages, days of the week. So these special offers can be individually tailored. And all of that can then be exported directly into the booking machine. So this is where your procurement people conclude the contract. That goes into product marketing for calculation and processing purposes. And this is the next module I'd like to introduce. It is called the product module in our case. Here we develop the product. Here I calculate, put on my margins, decide on which sales channels I'm going to use, export it into reservation systems. This product module uses the data directly from the contract module. That is to say, it has always access to the basic contract. We see one specificity here. You might have a situation where your contract does not coincide with for the time of your product. And here I can merge two contracts in order to develop one product. Let's pick out one contract. And these contracts I'm going to pick now will cover different seasons. And this module takes the two contracts for two different seasons, aggregates them and says, here we have gaps. Here I have a gap in the season that I need. Here I have a gap in the price that I need. Here, for instance, you see rooms. You see exactly, well, I have found one specific room in one contract, another room in another one. Do you want this to be merged? Yes or no? You can adjust manually. And there you see also the differences. How about the services that come with the room? Are they identical or not? That is to say, the gaps will be identified very quickly. And so you can process and prepare your products for export into a booking machine. Or you can generate the content and then publish catalogs or web-based catalogs. The last item is reporting, and I think that's important too. A reporting solution comes with all these tools. That is to say, I always have the opportunity to check all the contracts, pick out the data for the current situation. And we'd like to show you this reporting module as well. Here, we have 5,000 contracts, and within a couple of seconds, you will have the reporting elements. Again, it's a modular thing. You can define your reporting KPIs. It shows you quite quickly how quickly you get results. Marketing contribution takes a minute until the system has analyzed the 5,000 contracts, but there you see, indeed, a comparison between seasons for several distant destinations. You see your marketing contribution and many other data, depending on your KPIs. I can also adjust the dashboard for this reporting. That is to say, your management probably wants to have different information compared to what your procurement people need, so you can adjust the dashboard. All of that runs behind the teamSolution, and each of the modules can be used separately or collectively. That was a quick insight into the challenges of digital transformation, and this is what we can offer you. We try to offer a teamSolution software that helps travel agencies and tour organizers to optimize their offers. I will be available for questions, and we have our own stall in Hall 5.1, and we'd like to welcome you there. Thank you for your attention, and have a successful and interesting ITB fair.